Get him.
Oh my God!
Calm down. Come here.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, dude! 6 pounds, 11 ounces. Oh, 2 points.
Oh my. Limp! That's what I've been waiting for all day.
That's over 6.
True. And that one's.
Oh, here he goes.
Go. Good?
That's a big fish.
Full hand on tail. Yeah, it looks sick. Good to go.
Look how broad that thing is.
I wonder if that was the one that followed me in.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Holy God. What a beast.
Oh, wow. That might be a 4. That might be a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You guys show that off too. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Holy.
Another good one.
Holy sh! What the? Is that another 6?
Could be.
It's the second giant of the day, proving that point. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes!
Big baits, big fish. There we go. 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Beauty! Dude, I'm not even joking. It happened again.
You kidding me?
Nope.
Is it big?
Oh! That's strong.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's a fat fish, dude.
4.
Holy. Dude. Holy hell, that's long.
Yeah, it is.
5, 4, 6. What?
Yeah. Just rock.
Got him. Get in here, you. There's another 6. You. That's a big fish.
6'10". Woo-hoo-hoo. Little fatty.
I keep forgetting to get on that right away. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good evening.
Good evening. I forgot your stack of papers again. I literally had a stack of papers at work from like all my various notes. I was like, I need to throw these away. No, I'm gonna bring them home. I totally forgot.
Trying to get the old like newscaster like with the newspaper, like the papers and stuff, and I was like, yeah, talking like this and whatnot. Still haven't done it yet.
Sign off like Ron Burgundy. Go F yourself, New England.
No, seriously. That's an inside joke. You don't know
Oh,
yet.
God. Don't forget to press record. We don't need to do that anymore. StreamYard does it for us, Dave. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Mr. Dube is running a little bit late. Doobie time is late time tonight.
Doobie time is
Not on time.
whenever the hell he wants to show up.
He said it'll be about 20, 25 minutes late. They misjudged the distance they had to go to where they're staying. He's still obviously on his way back from Lake Fork from the event this past weekend. So he's going to be just a little bit behind, but that's okay. We got plenty of things to talk about in the meantime. Let's start off with 2 things. First off, 1, I remember to do it early. Anybody that's still interested, we still have apparel for sale. It's on our Shopify. I posted it. If you're watching on Facebook, I can't pin it right now, but it's in there in the comments. And for those who are watching on YouTube, it's in the comments and it's pinned. So for anybody interested, have at it. And this time I'm prepared. I have all the boxes necessary to ship anything because I ran out and I took some orders. I was like, oh, crap. I haven't waited to ship any of this yet. But we got that sorted, thanks to my lovely wife. Second off, let's do a chat sound off, because we haven't done that in a while. Gordy, hooking bass up north. Jim B, Kevin. Oh, New Hampshire fishing gal, Freedom Fishing. Kevin, again, Mike. Bass and Panda, Adam Wood. David, Danny Tanner. Who else? Oh, Alec, Gunner, Kyle, Kirk, Dan, Scott. I think it's everybody.
Jim, Alec,
Everybody.
David.
Everybody. Did you guys hear Mercer say Doobie time when Tim went on stage at Toledo? It was awesome. Yeah, I think he's been saying it since the first event, if memory serves correct.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Oh, and DJ helped me out here because Chris isn't here to remind me as well. He's out on vacation, so we don't have a man behind the scenes to help manage the chat tonight. But yes, thank you very much. For anybody that is here, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, drop a like, please. It really helps immensely. And for those that do, thank you very much. For those that have been sharing the things, like everything as well, thank you. Let's talk about 2 things. Let's do a fishing report for last weekend.
Yeah. I caught a really cool pickerel
That you
in
did. Oh my
like
God.
25 feet with a spy bait. That was
forgot
pretty
about that.
sick. That was the highlight of my weekend.
Let's see. I broke a rod and I caught a rat largie. I had a really, really, really tough last 3 weeks of fishing. Which is
Not
pretty
just
funny.
you.
Yeah, no, I know. We're not alone. We both just have struggled. I've been out of my head for a number of reasons, but that will turn the corner sooner than later. So it is what it is. We just try and forget what happened and we move on with what we got. And it was weird. We went all the way down to Connecticut to start on Sunday, and it was either there or back where we went last Sunday to a spot in Massachusetts. And it was him and Han, and they eventually were just like, let's just go to Connecticut. It's been open all winter. Water's gonna be a lot warmer, especially with that rain we just had. They should be biting, so we went. And dude, this place is tiny. What do you think? 200 acres.
Which one?
First spot, Connecticut.
Yeah.
200
250.
There's like 5 bass boats and 2 kayaks. It's way, way, way too many boats for one spot. But we knew one guy that was there. That was the whole reason we were there is because my friend told us about the spot years ago. First time it was 2 years ago. Oddly enough, got skunked then too, although he didn't.
I didn't.
No, you caught a giant. Wow, very big fish. I
It was
think
like
giant.
a 4.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I think if we'd speak giant, it's like 5+. 4 to 5. That's a big bass.
It's big bass.
But giant's like 5+. Anyway, and it just nobody was getting on him. And actually, funnily enough, we ran into the guy that bought my old Skeeter, so that was pretty cool. I got to talk to him for a few minutes, but it was wild, dude. We got there, water was 45. We thought things were gonna be great. Could barely even mark anything on active target, and it just didn't work out. So by I think I sat down at like 11. I was like, I'm done, dude. I was so frustrated.
Yeah, I was done too. I was just like, no, this is not panning out at all. Let's leave.
So we did, and then we got talking a little bit, and he kind of convinced us like we should go back to the other spot, kind of close. I was like, all right, screw it. What the hell? Why not? We're already out. So we drove 2.5 hours back. Actually, just a little over 2 hours, and got the only bass of the day 20 minutes before sunset. So but the wild thing too is that place only iced out like 8 days before we got there, and it was already 45.5 degrees. Which was wild to see how fast it warmed up. But that's what that warm rain will do. And we got dumped on the night before. Not quite the night before,
It's
but
kind of kissed by the river too. So
True. So all that helps. But yeah, it was wild. Even with 2 different ponds, 45 degrees, they were just shut off. By the time we got there, first place was shut off in the morning. Who knows what would have happened in the afternoon. Second spot we went to apparently was off in the morning. A guy I know ended up catching a 610 out of there first thing in the morning, and we ran into a couple other people we know, and they were just like nothing. So it is what it is, man. That's cold water fishing for you. Take the good with the bad, right? And unfortunately, it's been a lot more bad than good lately, but it'll turn around. It'll be fine. I actually last minute decided to take Friday off this week, and I'm gonna go out fishing with Dennis Hart. We've had here on the show quite a few times. It'll be good. Dan did ask.
we still got all year. Well,
oh yeah,
most of the year.
vast majority.
Vast majority.
It's Kirk. What rod broke? It was one of my Douglas X Matrix, and it was my new jig rod, my 715F, and I'm really not happy about that. The only plus side is I just got some more new rods from them, only like a month ago.
And they have lifetime warranty.
Yes, that's actually by far the most important thing. But I got lucky, and one of the other rods that I originally got for like jackhammers and swim jigs and stuff. And when I broke the rod, I was like, oh man, I really wanted that rod to use. And I was like, well, hang on, I got this other rod. Let me try that. And I think it was a 746F. Yeah, because I have the 745, so it's a 746, and I put that on. I was like, actually, I like that. So it was good. I actually inadvertently found another rod that I really like for jigs, so it works out. Now I get the rod replaced, and it'll be good. I got to place another order for more rods anyway. We'll be good. But it just sucks. So that's the rod that broke, and then the question was, how did you break a rod? I don't want to talk about it. It was it was just stupid.
Slam! Da, 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 da.
That actually wasn't what broke it.
Let boys be boys.
John, yeah, John. Yeah, I know that guy too. John is the guy that caught the 610. Which, oddly enough, we know each other through work, only because of recent changes at work. And he was here because he's been here every once in a while. And he comes up to talk, and I just looked at him. I was like, "You suck." First thing I said.
I know. We know they're in there.
Oh yeah, we haven't caught a 610. I think the biggest we've caught there was that.
I caught a 6'9".
Okay, so you got me beat. I think my biggest was 6 pound 2 ounce. You were there for that.
Caught
Jackhammer fish.
6'9" and 6.5.
Jesus.
And a 6 1/4 out of there. No,
What the hell?
the 6 1/4 wasn't from there. Sorry,
But you got two from
but I have
6
two
over there.
over 6 in there.
I've only got the 1.6, but I've got quite a few 5s. Back early on in the channel, the video's gone now, so you can go look for it if you want. You're not going to find it. I pulled down this series.
I was in my little John boat that day.
No, this was before that.
Oh,
So I had a series on the channel, and it was like fishing new ponds for the first time, and it was like very early. And it was a challenge to myself to be like, okay, well, I've learned, and I am learning, so let's go to new bodies of water. And
oh,
see,
that was
like,
one of those "I told you so" things because you went alone without me.
Yeah. I forget why, too.
I don't know. It's probably working.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But anyway, first time I went out, I stuck like a 5 1/4, 5 something.
5.5.
Was it?
I remember.
Okay. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this place is going to be great. And it's not as good as that. It'll kick you in the nuts twice before it'll reward you.
It'll kick you in the nuts a half a dozen times before you get like a good, decent fish out of there. But they are in there, and they're freaking giants.
Yep.
And the carp in there are the size of this table. Not even joking. They're
Yeah, that's
huge.
understatement. So, but anyway, it was yeah, that was one of the 5s. There's another time I was in my boat with our friend Travis, and you were out in your little John boat with Jeff, and I stuck a 5.5 and a 4.5 on back-to-back casts on one tree, which was amazing.
I love that tree.
That tree is nice. I did see a question that I wanted to answer, and it was, I believe, Jim. Where'd it go? Oh, there we are. Jim. 745F or 715F better for jigs? I did see Alec respond. I'm going to agree with him. It really depends on what you're looking for. The 745F I find to be a little bit softer.
I believe that's what I'm throwing.
I think you're right. I don't know. I like this 715F a little bit better.
If I get another one, it'll probably be the 715 because that would be like my dock flipping stick and like punching in timber, or not punching in timber, but flipping timber and all that stuff.
Yep.
But the 745 is good for like bombing casts, open water, dragging rock piles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nope. Absolutely agree with that. I like the 745 with braid leader a little bit because I actually like the only time that I like throwing braid leader for my jigs, which I know is strange to a lot of people, but I just still prefer straight fluorocarbon. But that combo with braid as your primary line, like I really liked it. It was good. It was like a really good happy marriage between the rod's power and action versus the no stretch on the braid. But the 715F is perfect, and you're going to love it because actually, so I just wrote an article for Douglas Rods. And it was talking, how to fish for cold water bass, which is funny. The timing of it when they posted it, I finished it and submitted it 3 weeks ago before any of this fishing stretch even started. And then we go out and get our teeth kicked in for 3 straight weekends. So and all of a sudden, I basically cried about it on my post, which what people keep telling me I did. And the next day they're like, "Hey, guess what we posted?" I'm like, "Come on, the timing."
Yeah, whatever.
No, but in that. I talked about throwing jigs because obviously we do that a lot. You guys all know we do that. And the 715F was part of that discussion in the article. And what I like about it that I elaborated on that you're going to like touches upon what you just talked about. It's got just enough finesse to its capability that if we're 20 feet off a dock and you just want to kind of quick flip that thing underneath there or skip it, it can do it. But it's got enough backbone that you're going to horse that fish out.
Better because my drag's going to be locked.
If
I could weld my drag on my jig rod, I would. It'd be perfect.
Oh, man. So, thank you, sister. My sister Ashley's in here.
Is she?
Go big brother.
We were just talking about you the other day.
That we were. We actually all went out to dinner as a family for once. Just me and my siblings, which has
Nice.
not happened in a long time. But it was fun. It was good. Now we're all arranging for the next get-together, which would be great. Trying to go through, make sure I didn't miss anything else. There you go, Alec. I absolutely love my 715. Got 2 of them because it's such a versatile rod. Yeah, when I get mine replaced, I'm going to order another one, and then I'm going to get one more. rod for jerk baits because the rod
I need to
18
talk to Christian
Yes, you do.
about getting a whole bunch of spinning rods.
You got to get that sorted
I know.
ASAP. So, okay, so we covered that. All right, one more reminder. The New Hampshire Outdoor Expo is this weekend. We will not be there. You should still go. I know there's still going to be just as many vendors as there was last year. I think the only person I heard that is not going to be there was MGC Fishing. So for anybody out there looking for like a lot of the big swim baits, you're not going to have quite as many options. But there's still a few vendors there that do sell them, like Stoneman Lures. He's got quite a few different versions of glides that I remember for sure that he will have. And obviously does his own custom paints on that, so that it's there. Crazy Hick Bait Company, one of our sponsors, they're going to be there. And, of course, Ben's Tackle Shack, they're going to be there with pretty much like their whole store offering. So if you guys are anywhere near Milford, New Hampshire this weekend and you're looking for something to do, you don't have your boat ready, I strongly recommend going to the show. And obviously we don't have any skin in this game because we're not going to be there. We're not going to have our own booth. But at the same time, I don't really necessarily feel that I need that disclaimer because at no point have we done anything that I feel has jeopardized our word. If we're telling you it's worth your while, it's worth your while.
To go to the show? Oh, yeah.
Or just in anything in general. Anything we recommend.
Oh.
We have, there is no...
Stuff is good.
Yeah. There's no agenda behind it. This is cool shit. Use it. Like, it's pretty much the gist of everything on the channel. So, hey, even Stamatis will be there. You guys, like, if you're really interested, you want to do something, it's $15 to get in for an adult. Children's under 12. It's either 12 and under or under 12. They're free. You can check it out. Go look up the website, New Hampshire Outdoor Expo. It's named Outdoor Expo, but there is a ton of fishing vendors. There's just a lot of good things that'll be there all weekend. They're going to have seminars as well for anybody that wants to learn. But unfortunately, again, we're not going to be there. He's busy. I'm gone. I'm going to be traveling for work, so I just can't make this show. It is what it is. We're sorry. There's always next year. So we'll make it happen.
Well.
Shut up. Hang on. You're not privy to that conversation at this time.
Yeah. I mean, I could.
That's entirely up to you. I'm not going to fucking make you do anything. Sorry. So I'm trying to keep an eye on my phone because waiting for Tim to get in here. And I told him if he runs into any issues getting on StreamYard, because I don't know if he's done it yet. It's like, just call me. So I just keep making sure I haven't missed anything yet because he'll be here relatively soon. Anyway, yes?
Well, big announcement.
You going to do it?
Fuck it. Why not?
All right.
As of October, I'm moving to Florida. I will be down there. The plan is, as of right now, well, no, the plan is definite. It is going to happen. I'm getting a boat and going to do snook, red, and tarpon charters. That is the plan, and it is going to happen within the next, I'm leaving in October. I'm going to fish the Berkshire Classic, and then the following week I will be gone. And then hopefully fishing the day I get down there.
What do you mean hopefully? You know you're going.
I know.
You're not even going to pull into where you're going. You're going to go straight to the shore. You're like,
Yeah, I mean,
like, where are you? Like, I'll be there soon. I'm at the beach.
I'll still do this. I'll still come on the live stream every Wednesday if I need to.
You can do whatever you want, man.
I'll still be. I'll be on, for sure.
Real Southern tarpon.
Dude, don't. There's still gonna be a lot of bass being caught. I can tell you that right now.
He gets to do everything, both that he loves to do.
Yep. I'm trying to make a living out of it. I mean, if it all comes through, and it's gonna be sweet.
What do you mean if? You know it's gonna.
I know. It's definitely gonna be sweet.
Not to mention the fact that how many people, obviously me, I'll be there to support you in any way I can.
Oh yeah, I'll be back up for a few things. Probably come back up for the New England Expo. New Hampshire Expo, probably not, but
No, but the New England one would be good.
I'll definitely come up for the New England Expo. Yep. It'll be good. I'm excited. I need a change. There's a whole backstory behind this. None of you guys know about, but yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Even beyond the backstory, though, this is something you've been talking about for really seriously talking about for 2 years now. And then playfully talking about, at least that I remember, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than that.
Yeah. So
finally doing it. I had that. It's the first time I'm ever going to say, pardon my French. I had that fuck it moment, and I'm just sending it. I'm just saying, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? I'm never going to do it if I don't do it now. So,
yeah, dude, no, and we talked. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
You're a prick. Fuck you. No.
It's going to be good.
It is.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you because, again, you've been talking about it for so long, and especially the meaningfulness behind the conversations. That it's like, it was like when we were talking the other day, you're like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, you do. Like, you got to do this. And it's not me pushing you away. It's me supporting you and making you feel good about it.
I know. It's freaking nerve-wracking, though, because I have no idea what I'm going to do, what I'm doing. And yes, I'm going to be chartering on my own. Well, my sister's boyfriend and I are hopefully going to be going into business together or something, doing something together or whatever. But
there is a plan.
The plan is I'm going to be working a lot of overtime, working my ass off, saving every penny I get. And when I get down there, we're going to be splitting a boat, a flats boat or a bay boat. And that's going to be, I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet.
The name will come to you.
Paul's brother was like, what do you say? Tug life.
That's a dad joke.
I know. But it works perfect for me because I'm single.
Yep. We're going to get canceled. I'm going to get fired.
Nah, that'll be all right.
Grad asked, are you charting on your own? You answered that, but what part of Florida? He'll book a trip.
So I will be living in Altamont Springs, which is literally like 10 minutes north of like the center of Orlando. But the neighborhood I'm going to be living in is like just like a neighborhood up here in New England. It's like there's like pine trees and like those elm or oak trees that have all the moss hanging off them and all that fancy stuff.
Bear with me. Is it northwest, northeast of Orlando?
It's like straight north.
Straight north. Okay. So my mom lives in Leesburg. And the reason why she settled down there was because it reminded her very much of living back here, obviously without the mountains. But, you know, here in our area, we're in a valley, so we have some hills, but it's not like mountainous like you would picture with New Hampshire.
Right.
So down there, it's very reminiscent of this immediate area that we live in. But it's also got like a lot of oaks and pines and stuff. So it just reminded her of home. So that's why I asked, because Leesburg is northwest of Orlando.
Yeah.
But she's only like 45 minutes away. So it's not that far. So I'm just curious kind of where that cutoff of like that kind of flora starts to build.
So I'm only about like 40 minutes to the beach. And it's far enough away from the beach where I don't have to be there every day, but I'm going to be there every day anyway. And I'm an hour and 40 minutes from Okeechobee, an hour and a half or hour 20 minutes from Headwaters. It's going to be freaking sweet. I'm excited.
I'm excited because now I have like, I don't have a reason not to go to Florida to go fish.
No. And we got a spare bedroom.
Yes.
And Jerry's right down the road, kind of.
Jerry, let's go. Us versus you.
I've already been talking to him. Like, I'm stealing you, kidnapping you with your boat.
Your mom said, name your boat Bass Ass.
Bass Ass. Thanks, Mom.
There you go. Alex said, you have a client for a lifetime. I'm down visiting my folks in the Tampa area. Ain't that far.
Hell yeah. No, that's not far. Kinda. I think.
Yeah.
I don't
you know
know
what? He can make the drive. It's
Who
fine.
cares?
Yeah.
Come up and say hi.
Dave.
Take you out. We'll go catch some giant snook on glide baits.
Dave said, sounds like you're going to be very lonely and need visitors. Mm-hmm. So, Jamie, Reel Southern Bass.
Reel Southern. Well, I mean, I'm still going to be doing stuff with Sean. Like, I'll still do the stream, and it's just going to be from a different part of the country and different fishing reports.
Yeah. How's the fishing report today, Sean? It was snowstorms. I didn't get to go out. How was it today? Well, it was 80 degrees, and I caught a 10 and had to chase out a gator.
Yeah, gators are going to be a problem. I'm going to be playing with those things all the time.
You're going to go from getting your glide away from one toothy critter up here to getting away from a different toothy critter down there.
Yeah, but those toothy critters will eat your boat.
Well, regardless, I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you. And it is definitely going to be bittersweet when you do move. But more than anything, I support you and I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I am excited because when I didn't even think about it. We were talking about this, I forget, sometime last week. And he threw out his original, like, kind of planned schedule, but it was still kind of loosey-goosey. And I didn't even think about it until like a couple days ago. I was like, oh, damn. I wonder if he's going to be around for the Berkshire Fall Classic. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to do anything to hinder your plans. And then he gets here earlier and he tells me everything he just told you guys. He's like, yeah, October. And I was like, wait a minute. When in October? Like after the Berkshire Classic? He's like, why do you think I pushed October? And I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to win that shit.
Yeah, I hope so.
We've done well the last couple of years.
I know.
We had 7th, 3rd, and 3rd. That close.
I know. We're so
that close. Jody, you're not allowed to go. No. No, Jody, we need you there. It won't feel right if we win without you there.
David, I probably will be doing some videos because why not?
Precisely.
It's going to be sick. I'll probably do them when I'm by myself. I probably won't do them when I have people on the boat with me, but when I'm by myself and trying crazy shit like catching snook with glide baits and reds with jigs. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to see if
not traditional.
Yeah, everything that's off the wall crazy I like to do. I'm just going to try everything from freshwater into saltwater and see what happens.
It'll work.
I'm sure it will.
99% of the things you come up with work. It's going to work.
Yeah. Annual Jody donation invitation.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. Yeah, you won the last 2 years.
Actually, that's a good comment.
Which one? From Andrew?
Yeah.
This one? You should... Oh, that one, yeah. You guys should do an up north to down south fishing trips. Oh, fishing tips and compare and contrast the similarities and differences. Hell yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Every Wednesday. I give him... What's the over-under? We should put the over-under on this. Before the first time we hear you say, I miss smallmouth. Not in the sense of like I'm coming back, just that smallmouth specifically.
You haven't caught a snook or a jack yet.
No, I know, but
that saltwater bite is addicting. It's so much fun.
What is Casey, I volunteer as tribute to come down and do some crazy shit with you.
Okay.
Oh, hey Chris.
Oh,
Lumen
Chris.
Fishing Series.
Yeah, I'm getting the frig out of New England.
He moving.
Gone. See ya.
Toodaloo. But not till the end of the year.
Yeah, not till October. I'm moving to Florida, bud. So,
hey,
maybe. I was looking at those the Express H20s. It's a center console Express.
Ooh.
Flats boat.
Ooh.
But they're like 50, 60 grand.
Ooh.
Right. But the money that I save could be a good down payment for it.
Yeah. And I keep hearing that interest rates are supposed to be coming back down like really soon here. So, and you know what the important thing is? If not, as long as you can afford it at the higher interest payment, then that's fine. You keep it for a year, then you refinance and get a refinance loan. Anybody will give you a refinance loan on literally anything. And you like have your interest rate.
Especially in Florida, you can do whatever the fuck you want down there.
Yeah, truth.
Could drive down the road with no wheels on my car. It'd perfectly be fine.
I've seen some shady vehicles around, but nothing like what I've seen down in Florida.
Dude, my first day down there, 2 years ago, I was driving down the road and saw one of those stupid freaking trucks that are driving like this with lights freaking everywhere. I was like, yep, that wouldn't fly in New England.
When I was younger, I forget where the hell we were going. It wasn't to one of the parks. I think it was actually the one time I was younger, I went fishing when I was down there. And it was, how do I put this? It was my great uncle, but like my second great uncle, something like that. And it was his grandson. So like second or third cousin, however the hell that works, related very distantly. And we went and met, me and my dad went and met him. He took us out fishing. Some small pond, not too far from Orlando. But the thing I remember was it was gin clear. There's two things. One, the water was gin clear, which I did not expect in Florida. And then two, driving down the highway, and it was a Ford Ranger, and it had like 16-inch wheels with like car tires on it basically in the front, and like 38 mud boggers on the back. Like straight up hot rod.
Some weird stuff that goes on down there. When I went down there 2 years ago, so my sister and her boyfriend had an apartment and overlooked this like kind of main strip in New Smyrna Beach. There was this ranger that was driving down the road, and he'd drive for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then he just let off, and it was just like straight headers, pop, 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 and it just kept going for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God!
And then he'd do it again, and do it again, and he drove up and down the strip doing that every day, all day.
Holy crap!
My sister's like, "Oh, here he comes again." But actually, to the YouTube thing, we most likely will be, because Josh is kind of like a huge YouTube star.
Yes, he is.
So we most likely will be doing YouTube down there.
It's an understatement for him.
For him, yeah.
Yeah.
He actually is the welder and the fabricator for Drift HQ for Adam LZ. Or not for Adam LZ, for Duarte, who owns Drift HQ. But now Adam LZ owns Drift HQ. Collaboration type of deal.
What are they at, like 120,000 subs?
Oh, I bet probably more than that. I don't know.
I just remember one of the last times I looked, it was like 120,000 or something like that. They're big. In New England, we're like kind
and
of.
Adam's over a million.
Is he really?
Oh yeah.
Jesus, that's wild.
Let's look. Oh hey.
Anthony, that smallmouth tattoo you got, Andrew, will be like a chick's name and a heart. Look at it every day and reminisce the fun times.
And reminisce the cold weather.
We do any bass fishing or strictly red and snook? I thought you already answered that.
Oh, I'm definitely doing bass fishing. You gotta be kidding me. But look at me. I'm a bass fisherman.
He's doing everything. That's the benefit of moving down there. Plus the longer days anyway.
Oh, on Instagram they have 228,000 followers.
Good Lord. Ask him if I can have 5% of that. No, I'll settle for 0.5%. Just so I haven't, like, I care about YouTube and what the subscriber count is, just because like I've got my eyes set on like that 10,000 mile that 10,000 subscriber milestone. But like I kind of keep a pulse on everything else too. And for a little while, like, I really cared about Instagram because it was like doing really well, and then I just stopped focusing on it because I didn't have the time or energy to really care about it from that aspect. I just do my thing. If the growth comes, the growth comes. But at one point, I remember like hitting like low 9,000s. I was like, oh, cool. Well, damn, might be able to hit 10,000 on that. This was a year ago. Like, literally, I will think about it once every 2-3 weeks, and I'll go and look at the follower count, and it will still be 94, either 9,430 something or 9,440 something. And I only know that because literally every time I look at it, it's one of those two numbers. And for every follower we gain, we lose one. And it has flatlined at that point for a year. And I'm convinced that Instagram has choked our growth until I start spending money on boosting more. And that would get me over the hump of 10K. Then, after I cross the hump, we'd go back to our normal kind of, the normalcy in the way that the page hits the algorithm. I'm convinced at this point, because, I mean, dude, if you go back and look at the growth just on Instagram specifically, like, it was a nice, steady trend the whole time. And then as soon as I got right about 9,300, 9,400, it was like, plateau. And it's been like that for a year. And I was like, I think there's something to this.
It's weird. I haven't posted anything, and mine's been steadily growing. Literally.
But further proof. You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't posted in... The last one I did was a collab I did with you for the apparel.
Oh, yeah.
And before that was a striper trip.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm convinced. Like, I guarantee you, if I were just go... I'm going to prove it. I'm gonna prove it. Next 5 posts, I'll dump like $20 into boosting it.
Oh, it works.
Oh, I know it does.
And then
but,
they go right away.
I don't know. I boosted a couple of posts years ago.
So did I.
I usually do if it's like a video. Because that's the thing with Instagram. Like if you put anything there that you're referencing a video, like it doesn't promote like and post to like your people that already follow you at all. So if it's a video that I was like really, really stoked about when I made it, then I'm like, you know what? I really want this to have a good chance to be seen by the people that already follow me. So I'll throw $10 into it. I'm going to prove it. Next 5 posts, I'm going to throw like $20 into each one to boost it. And I guarantee you I get over 10K just from doing that.
Do it.
And it'll piss me off to no end. Like they were like, "Congratulations, you caught us. You proved a point. Thanks for your money,
It's
chump."
like I got 27K on TikTok in 3 weeks, but it's been the same amount for 2 years.
Yeah, dude, it's weird, but it's whatever. Yeah, it's like social media is just strange. It's a really, really strange animal, and there's many aspects about it that I like. I like Instagram. I really like how Instagram used to be when it first started, where it was like, you know what, I can just focus on really good pictures, and then I can elaborate on it. And then, of course, the videos, like I just enjoy doing the videos. It's my creative outlet. It's the only place I really get to have a sense of creativity and have really complete control over what it is that I want the output to be. And in the end, I also get to try and teach something from that as well. So it checks off all these boxes, and it's great. But dude, if you really want to try and keep pace with social media and the ever-changing algorithm behind everything, good
Brock.
fucking luck, man. I tried doing that once years ago when we had the gaming channel, and I looked into it a little bit, like early on with the channel.
Yeah,
and
your
I'm
gaming
like,
channel.
never mind.
Gaming channel went nuts.
So Jared looked the other day. It still has 42,000 subscribers.
We should do it live sometime. We should do it tonight after this. We should go play Rocket League on. Just go on and see what happens.
I don't think it would be that.
And then we're not
easy.
going to do as good as we did last night.
No, probably not. Probably not. I had a very interesting. All right, one last thing. Hopefully Tim shows up. Now he's running like really late. I haven't heard from him yet, but I don't disbelieve that he will be here. I think they probably just misjudged their drive time. But there was a very interesting sequence of events that happened over the last 24 hours in my personal life. All good, like definitely good. And I had messaged him earlier last night, and I was like, "Hey, you want to play Rocket League?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna play Halo, and then I'll let you know." I was like, "All right." So he texted me, and I had already been talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Hey, my buddy's probably gonna call me, and I have to take this phone call." And he was like, "All right, no worries. We'll just play what we can." We're like a minute. They're 5-minute matches in Rocket League. If you're not familiar with that game, we're a minute into it. My buddy calls. I'm like, "Dude, I gotta take this." So I just took my headphones off, and I kept playing while having the conversation. I don't think I skipped a beat in that conversation.
You
And it was
did.
an
Except
important
for
one.
like, there was like 3 or 4 seconds where you just stopped talking because it was a very close part of the game.
I think you're right.
No, I heard it. You stopped talking completely, and he wasn't talking either.
But at any rate, it was amazing.
We won, of
We did.
course.
We had to take it to overtime, but it was great.
Video games, yeah.
But it was funny, man. The sequence of things that happened yesterday to today. And now I gotta make another phone call.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good phone call.
It's gonna be good. I gave him the old fuck it push.
That he did.
Just do it.
Okay, so I have 11 pages in each one, 4 or 5 platforms. It's exhausting. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Jesus.
Anthony, I can't pin that. I can't. If there was that fished, Nate would break the fishing industry. Yep, you're right. I had to censor the hell out of myself on that. Mike, how's it going? Oh, Chris said best of luck. That is not. Oh, wow. All of a sudden, my phone. Oh, boy. That's what I was worried about. I really hope he's not. He didn't ping me on Facebook, and I keep looking for that. Scott, is your boat fully rigged out now, Sean? Yes, it is. I am golden. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the boat. I'm not waiting on anything. That's a lie. I am waiting on batteries from Steve.
We just got like
Oh, no.
30 in.
What happened to John?
Oh no.
What was he down
He
in
was-
Texas for?
He was just going fun fishing.
Oh, that sucks.
Damn.
Just I opened Facebook to see if Tim messaged me just to make sure I didn't miss anything from trying to get in touch with me.
John Levesque was going down to Texas to go fun fishing for a week. And it says this trip to Texas just ended early. My luck.
That sucks. Not what I was looking for. Sorry, John. But yeah, that's literally the only thing I'm waiting for on my boat at this point is the ionic lithiums, but the ones with the heater cores. The only thing that's like I'm not second guessing it, but I am truly understanding just how overkill this is going to be because I want the internal heater core, but the only ones they do that with are the 125 amp hour.
Yeah, which is fine, which is what you want.
Right, for my cranking. Holy hell, is that overkill for my trolling motor? 3 125 amp
You
hours?
wouldn't have to charge it for like a week.
I know, that's why it's overkill.
No, it's fine. When one starts to get weak, you'll never know.
Yeah, that's true. I honestly, like, now I'm debating. I'm like, should I just get another charger just to put on the cranking one? Because that's the only one I have to recharge. Like, I'll probably be able to fish a month before I have to recharge those batteries on the trolling motor.
No, you should do? You should get an Ionic 125 for your cranking battery.
Yep.
And a 50. Little guy.
Yep.
In parallel. And then get two 36 volt, 60 amp hour Miller Techs in parallel.
Oh. Yeah, but they don't have the heater core.
You're
You're going to warm weather. I'm
you're not
stuck here
wrong.
in the frozen tundra.
I'm not thinking about warm weather yet. I mean, I am a lot, but you could still. Nah, it's gonna be cold.
No, I'm not going to do the battery heater wraps and the individuals and all that crap, dude. I want to simplify this process. And if that means I'm going to go obscenely overkill, then so be it. Because it's still going to be simpler,
I think
even
you
if
should
it's
just
overkill.
go with just the Ionics. You'll be fine with that.
I'm going to stick to
What
the plan.
charger do you have?
No-Code Genius. So I'm all set.
Which one?
The newer one. That actually has lead acid AGM
Okay,
lithium.
good.
I double-checked. Because that's what I put in my Skeeter, anticipating I would eventually be getting lithiums when I forget what I had in the Skeeter, but the charger was starting to die. So I was like, all right, well, time to buy a new one. And I went and did my research. I talked to Steve. He was like, either this or this. I was like, Noco, easy. And the price is right. Love that charger. Thing's great. And we got the Nitro, totally spaced, even asked what was in there. But at the same time, I was like, I really don't care. Like, a charger's not necessarily cheap, but it's not necessarily expensive either. So I was like, I'll worry about it later. And then when I started really thinking, like, you know what? Maybe it is time for maybe it's time to finally go and do lithium. And I climbed the boat. I'm like, there's that no-go. Everything's great.
Actually,
Steve? Oh! Do you guys know anything? Oh, do you guys know anyone that is good on extending boat covers? I put so much new stuff on the boat, and the cover doesn't fit. Thayer's Marine. They do it right there on site. And that was the big thing that I learned from the Skeeter when we put, I went from an Ultrex, Ultrex, well, whatever. Fortrex to an Ultrex, both were 45-inch, and then I went to the Ghost, I went to a 52-inch, and then I got the Mega 360 that sat on top of that, and then I got the turret that hung off the side of that, and, like, my cover didn't even have a prayer in hell at fitting.
most of them don't. What, dude? Half the stuff that half the boats that not even half, 99% of the boats that come into my work come in with a cover on, and they leave without one because it won't fit.
So when I bought the Nitro from Thayer's, I was talking to Richie Jr., and he was like, all right, what are we doing? And we went over everything. I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, yep, we can do this. I'm like, it comes with the Nitro, the boat cover, right? He's like, yep, that's the factory cover. I'm like, great. What do I need to do to get that modified when you're done? He was like, not a problem. We do it right here in-house. I was like, all right, sick. He was like, okay, so we'll install everything, and then the last thing I'll do is we'll throw the cover on, and we will make the adjustment as necessary. And he basically just sewed on like a giant extension on the side of it. Thing works mint. Like, couldn't be happier with it. The only thing I regret not asking for, and food for thought, so not only for you, Steve, but for anybody else that's looking at getting their covers modified in any way, shape, or form, especially those like the travel ones, I really strongly recommend you have another strap added, like at the 1/3 and the 2/3 point, or at least one dead center, because that's the only thing that sucks about my cover. and I'm not sure if I'm the only one that runs into this, is when we're driving on the highway doing 80, there's still a lot of wind pulling against that, and the very dead center of the cover just starts to ride up a little bit just past the rub rail. And that's it. That's all it does, but it's just enough that I will still get, like, we've driven in the rain a few times, and I'll still get some water in the boat under that. And then if you don't put anything in the dead center between the consoles to support it in a really heavy rain, it will cave in. So I figured out the cave-in part of it, but I wouldn't have to if I had at least one strap coming from, like, the trailer frame up to the middle. Highly recommend you do that.
Ranger does that.
That's smart.
Yeah. Well, at least the Ranger that we had in the other day had that. Had the ratchet strap system, and it had the side strap.
Yeah. He's already making a face. I'm trying. Where's my mouse? There it is. All right.
There he is.
I was trying to find my mouse. I got 4 screens. I'm like, where the hell is it? I see Tim.
What's going on, guys? Sorry.
What? Look, it's a
sorry
pro.
I'm late.
Apology not accepted.
What do they say? Casually late? Something like that?
You're on doobie time. It's fine.
46 minutes into it.
It's doobie time. When the fuck is doobie time? He's fucking late.
Oh, man.
What's good, man?
Just got to this nice Airbnb at the St. John's River and just left Harris Chain and thought it was like an hour. It's not an hour.
No.
And everyone in Florida, they drive a little bit under the speed limit, so it took me a minute to get here.
Yeah, perfect for me. Oh, you didn't hear. I'm moving to Florida, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
'Cause I love it down there. It's going to be sick. Trust me. You're going to have to come visit.
Gators, snakes, spiders.
Bears.
No, the red wasps. They're like that big.
They're huge.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm over it. I didn't know I had to go on to Amazon, order a beekeeper suit just to fish down here. They're really not that bad, but they are that bad.
They're big.
All they want to do is fly under your console and crawl into something.
Oh,
So
no.
don't bring your boat back to us for me to work on. It's that easy.
They'll be dead by the time we get there.
So, how's it going?
It's going. It's very exciting. Lots of truck driving, windshield time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet.
But good event at Toledo, not so good at Fork, and now we're looking to have a good event at the Classic.
So, at Toledo, I was waiting so I watched all of the weigh-in. I started watching it at work on the TV. Had it going on the radio on my way home. Got home, jumped on my computer, was watching, and the stream was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm watching it. He
lagging
calls your
hard.
name. You walk out. You say like 2 words, and then it froze. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Waiting like 2 hours for this.
That was exactly how my day went. I said 2 words and froze.
Oh, good. I didn't miss much.
But no, it was you had your pre-tournament meeting before that tournament, and it's the only one we'll have all year. And you're in the room with, all these people, and you're like, wow. All right. This new club is pretty cool.
You making a lot of friends?
Yeah, everyone has been extremely nice, and it's a whole different community, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But going out boat 9, there was no time to wait on day 1, so it's like Dave Mercer calls boat 1. Next thing you know, it's doobie time, and I drive down the lake and I forget how to fish for about 6 hours.
Dude, I heard you say that on the stage, and I was laughing my ass off. And I like, in the immediate moment, I was like, "That was pretty fucking funny, Tim." And then I was like, "Shit, I think he was actually serious." And I thought about it, I was like, Shit, no, I would 100% be like that if I were in your shoes. First time out there, I would not be able to settle down for hours.
That and out on Toledo Bend, it doesn't matter what the forecast says, the wind's gonna blow. It's just like a Champlain where like, oh yeah, 5 to 10 out of the south, and it's like 14 out of the south.
Yeah.
It's like that every single day there. So it doesn't help on top of being able to catch fish in the morning right away, and then at right before dark during practice. Didn't help that that's when I was catching fish, and I threw away the whole morning bite, and then decided to go driving in 3 and 4 and occasional 5-footers.
Okay.
That's
so
fun.
how's the nitro handle?
It's good. It's great. It's fast. I haven't speared one yet.
That's good.
Really close.
Yet.
Yet.
Still
Yeah.
7 more. No, actually 8 more events for you, Tim. Plenty of
8
time
more.
to spear a wave or two.
Oh, absolutely. But if you were going to spear one, Toledo would have been the place to do it too, because you have to run the boat lanes. So anyone who's not been down there, it is a forest that they flooded, and then they have marker buoys. And you have to stay in those marker buoys, because if you get like 25 yards, 50 yards outside the marker buoys, just kiss your lower unit goodbye.
Oh.
Yikes.
Or
It's not your lower unit, so what do you care?
yeah, but it'd be my credit card swiping it for
Yeah,
the
true.
new one.
You're not wrong.
So it doesn't help when the wind blows. Now you're trying to drive to a spot, and you have to drive 4 miles one way, then cut across the lake, which is like 3 or 4 miles, and then cut a mile back up. You have to do a big circle because you have to follow the boat lanes. And then that just chewed up all my time on the 7 to 3 day, and I was very happy I didn't zero.
Yeah, that's good.
I was happy about it.
I was watching it every like 10 minutes. I was like refreshing the page.
On
refreshing the page.
Fast Track.
Yeah, and then I
Interesting.
saw you catch another one. I'm like, yes! And you moved up. I was getting so amped.
But yeah, 93rd after day one.
Yeah, but then in came this doobie sneak.
Well, I went back to the house, and I was staying with Mark Menendez and Will Davis. And Mark goes, "How many beers do you have last night?" I was like, "I don't know, 3." He's like, "You should probably triple that for tomorrow." He's like, "You're probably way too sober. You're way too amped up."
So what did you do?
14 of them or so.
That's more than 3x, but yeah, it's close enough.
We had to do a big bag, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
It worked.
And it did.
There is a method to the madness, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna preface any further question first by saying, obviously, and we talked about this last time too. Don't share anything you don't want to. Nobody here expects you to give up everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be fishing against anyone on Toledo Bend anytime soon. So
That's true. So, all right, but with that in mind, well, you never know. There might be something you learn there you want to take into one of the next tournaments. And
Okay.
we understand that some other people might not. So like that's as much of a benefit for you as it is for everybody else too.
yeah,
That, there are some things people need to keep close to their chest, and everybody should respect that.
yeah.
So I will ask the question: what was the biggest adjustment that got you that big ass bag the next day? Because I don't know if you're aware, but you had the 10th best bag of the day on that day.
Yeah. So I was fishing grass. I was not in the middle doing the Demiki rig thing, because during pre-practice or during practice, official practice, it was 70 degrees, 75 degrees, and that water temperature was shooting up, and with a full moon as well. So you had a warming trend with a full moon, and I said to myself, no way they're going to be on winter pattern still. These things are going to be pushing. as well as the full moon, it was big sun. No clouds during practice. It was just straight sunshine. And I feel personally, springtime, the sun is more important than warm weather to move fish shallow because they want to go shallow. So I stayed shallow, and I was fishing grass, and it was big, huge clumps of hydrilla, and it had a hard edge to it, or a hard break. And so you could pan your live scope over and see this big whole clump, and then you'd see a blob sitting right here, and then another blob sitting right there, and another blob sitting right there. And day one, it was cold in the morning. It was like 40-something degrees, all bundled up, and I was fishing 900 miles an hour through an area that you can't fish 900,000 miles an hour through. You have to make pretty precise casts. Yeah, I was throwing a jerkbait and a chatterbait, and I just fished right over them. I saw them. I just was going too fast. I didn't give them the time to bite, and started running other stuff day one in full scramble mode and caught 3, and that was kind of my day. It went by like that, and it was over. But being boat 9 on day 1 meant I was boat 95 on day 2. So on day 1, my check-in was 3 o'clock. On day 2, my check-in was 4:30. So an extra hour, and I lost 15 minutes in the morning being that late, but I gained an hour and a half.
Yep.
And my marshal was on day 2. He was great. He was like the biggest cheerleader you could ask for, which is what you want. Yep. I don't like a quiet boat. I want to just go out and have fun, and I'm fishing the Elite Series. This is awesome. Right. I can't complain about anything. And I told him we were starting, and we were down. I was down in the Indian Mounds area. If anyone's familiar with Toledo Bend, it has the most grass in the lake. And I sat down and I pick up a chatterbait, and I think it was like 15 minutes, and I had 15 pounds.
Damn.
Ew.
I'm like, all right, this is cool, catching a limit, But I couldn't get any big ones to eat a chatterbait. I could only catch the big ones on a jerkbait for whatever reason. And I had 3 different jerkbaits on, and every big fish I caught came on one jerkbait. And it's not a mega bass, which everyone thinks it should be. The other 2 were mega bass, but I think they're so pressured down there that they've seen every color mega bass Vision 110 there is. And I was throwing a Strike King 300 deep KVD Elite, which already has mustad hooks on it.
Yep.
So no need to change the hooks on it. And it's a deep diver, and it would get down about 8 feet, and you just bring it over the top of that hydrilla, and it would go down, and you'd watch one come up and meet it.
Nice.
And I caught a 6-pounder and a 5-pounder on the jerkbait on the second day. And then I had, 19 pounds or 20 pounds. And I looked at the map. It was like, well, that looks like a good area. Let's go try over there. And drove to another part of the lake, put the trolling motor down in like 20 feet of water, or 8 feet of water, and started chatterbaiting some grass. And I catch a giant catfish. Giant. And but before that, I told my co-angler, or I told my marshal, I'm gonna go fish this grass. I found it in pre-practice a month and a half ago. It was good then. I'm gonna throw a chatterbait, catch an 8-pounder, and make the cut. He's like, let's do it. So we run all the way over there. I fire a chatterbait. Thong. You know how catfish bite a chatterbait.
Nope.
And you don't?
Blade bait for him, yeah, but no.
Blade
not
bait for me, yeah, but
and I catch it, and it's a giant catfish, and he's like, well, you should have been more specific on what species you wanted to catch. But while I was doing that, pulling on this catfish, the boat drifted off the grass and onto a drop, and I look out there, and there are fish everywhere suspending.
Hmm.
And I went from 19 pounds or 20 pounds all the way up to 22 after catching 15 fish on a Demiki rig right off the edge of this little point. And rolled in knowing, I was like, I'm not going to make the cut. You know, you can't catch 3 bass on day one and expect to make the top 50 cut. Was like, what? At least I saved some points. And I'm sitting and go through the whole weigh-in line, and I'm watching the standings because you're allowed to do that behind stage. I'm pulling up standings, looking at Bass Track, see where you're going to line up. I'm like, man, I'm going to be close, but I'm going to miss it. And weigh in, go on stage, and there was on Friday there was like 4,000 people there at weigh-in.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy.
On Saturday there was like 12,000 people.
Jeez.
And it's just so cool walking out there, you know, walking on the Bassmaster Elite stage. It's a really cool thing. And I put the boat on the trailer, and I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I'm just watching my name fall down and just keep falling down and falling down and falling down. I'm sitting in 50th, and I hear Mercer go, "Thanks, everyone. The weigh-in's over. See you guys all here tomorrow for championship or cut day Saturday or whatever, semifinal Saturday."
Yep.
And I refresh it about 4 times, and it still has me in 50th. And you would have thought I won the tournament in that parking lot.
Yeah, we're all stoked for you.
Oh yeah, dude.
There was some hooting and hollering going on, and then day 3 went out, did the same exact thing, but never got a 6-pound bite. But I was very happy with how that tournament ended out. It felt good for the confidence as well, going fishing against the best in the world, and just being able to somewhat hang.
You did better than that, dude. You beat more than half the field. So, not to, I really don't want anybody to construe that as like something negative. I mean, shit, it's a competition. So, I don't know the way to put it. You did better than more than half the field at the highest level in this fucking sport.
Yeah.
Like, that's damn impressive. And I'm proud of you.
It felt
For
good.
your first event.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw Mark's comment, by the way, but he said you better wish Mary Beth a happy birthday.
Well, I already did wish Mary Beth a happy birthday, but I didn't wish it on the Reel Nothern Bass. So, happy birthday, MB.
That's awesome. So how are you liking it so far? Like, what's been your favorite thing that's happened or whatever so far?
I mean, catching bass.
Well, yeah.
Kind of fun to catch bass. The favorite thing is just like, no, small, like, I don't feel like anything has changed, quote unquote. It's kind of like you're going fishing with the guys for the weekend, and you're staying at a house, and you're at a new lake, and you just go fishing, and then at the end of like your fishing trip, you jump into like a high stakes bass fishing competition. So it's a lot of fun. Like I've been having a blast. I've made a lot of new friends, and it's just cool hanging out with everybody and going to these awesome fisheries, and then having a tournament that is the most professional run tournament I've ever even been a part of. I didn't know there was such a thing as how good these are run. Bassmaster does a phenomenal job of like the cities that host or the towns that host. They have volunteers out directing traffic, blocking traffic for everyone but us. So like no one, like there's no traffic jams ever.
Nice.
Like you pull up to the boat ramp and you pull right down and put the boat in the water. Now, granted, it is Louisiana and Texas, and
yeah, it's like
they care
10 boats wide down there.
They care about their bass tournaments, and the ramps are an 8 at one time, 6 at one time. Just really nice, really nice. So that's probably my favorite thing. Just kind of hanging out and fishing a high stakes tournament at the end.
Yep.
So you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it.
That's good.
what I don't enjoy, and this isn't me complaining because I can't complain, is I hate the driving so far.
Dude, like, I like driving, and like people look at me crazy. Like, I went to the St. Lawrence and back in less than 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I left my house at 12:30 in the morning. We fished that day, slept for a few hours, woke up the next morning, fished again, and then I drove home, and I was back at my house at 11 o'clock that next night. So in less than 48 hours, I went up there fishing. Like, that's still a long drive, and like I enjoy doing that, but I know that's a stretch. And then I look at what you just did, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I could do that. Like, and I like driving.
Yeah,
I'll drive everybody everywhere, but I'm like, holy Christ, you're driving down to Texas. That's gotta be rough.
I used to like driving.
That's how I'm gonna feel in October.
You know, and I have good stopping points along the way from New Hampshire. You know, my uncle lives in Maryland, and so that's 8 hours. And so I get to Maryland, hang out there, basically shower, sleep, eat, leave.
Yeah.
And then I go from Maryland to Kentucky, where Joe Lucarelli lives. That's 11 and a half, 12 hours, pending snowstorms.
Dude, I totally forgot he moved down there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's in a good spot for me.
Yeah.
And so then from his house, he's very centrally located, so it's good. It's nice. But it's still 9 hours to Toledo.
Yep.
And then we fished Toledo for a week, and then we went to Fork, which is only 3 hours away. So that's not bad at all. That felt like a blink. You know, not even one tank of gas in the tundra. And I'm going to steal Will Davis's line real quick. A tundra can outrun everything but a gas station. It loves it. So, you know, that wasn't even a tank of gas getting over the Fork. Fished Fork. Didn't make the cut. But I did get to do Bass Live on Sunday with Mark Menendez.
Saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, dude.
And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I did tell. I told Mark, I go, I hope I never do another one of these. But I have a feeling I'm going to be.
Now they're gonna make it a point.
Because that means you're not fishing if you're doing Bass Live.
True.
Yeah.
But I left Lake Fork that was Sunday at noon and drove to Alabama, which is 12 hours away. Slept there, left Alabama on Monday, and drove another 5.5 to Harris Chain.
Yep.
I fished Harris Chain Monday, Tuesday, today Wednesday.
Yep.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then just left Harris Chain, and now I'm on the waterfront of the St. Johns River.
Nice.
Sick.
What'd you think of the of Harris Chain? My mom lives like right on like the main Harris Lake.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to go down there and fish for years. I just never made it. But I'm just curious. What was your first impression?
It's a lot bigger than it looks.
Yep, sure is.
You know, you see like Harris and you're like, oh, that's a medium-sized lake. And you get out there and you're like, it's a big-sized lake.
Yeah.
And then you go through a 12-minute no wake to get into Eustis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm going with it. You go into Eustis and like, that's a pretty good-sized lake too. And then you can go, I went over the Griffin, and that's like 6-minute no wake, followed by 3-minute on plane running through a canal, dodging tree. It's not that was a little exaggeration, but you're in a narrow canal and you're doing 70 miles an hour.
Nope, I'm good.
Sounds like Okeechobee.
And then you hit a lock, and the lock takes 12 minutes or so, 15 minutes. And then you hit another no wake, and then you can run full on plane all the way out to Griffin, again in a channel.
Yeah. Jesus.
So I did Griffin. I did Dora. I was Dora the Explorer and Dora. And it's just, I don't know, the scenery is cool. Saw a bunch of big gators. Saw some snakes today. and then my favorite red wasps.
Yeah.
Again, I'm over those. They fly right at you. Like, they come and they fly right at your face.
Yeah. There's one thing in this world I don't like. It's little wasps, man, and I would not be
They're
able to
not
handle
little.
that very well.
They're not little.
Which I really wouldn't be able to handle it then.
this
No, I would be running.
They're like the size of your pinky.
Well, you're in the jungle down there, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched I don't know how to judge alligators, but I watched an alligator eat a bird, and I'm like, that's a big one.
I had one chase my Depths 250.
Oh, yep.
Damn,
I had a little one chase a psycho gill today.
Yep.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, get out of there. Get out of there. But it's different. It's the Harris chain. It's so weird. You go to one lake and it's like muddy water or stained water. And then you go to the next lake, crystal clear. Then you go to the next lake, the water's black. And it's just like, it's so weird.
Yeah, that black water is weird down there. It's different.
It's like clean, but it's like black water.
Yeah.
See, I feel like that's kind of, I don't know, like synonymous with Florida to me. But like I said, when I was a kid, and I went fishing with whoever the hell he was, my second cousin or whatever. And he took us to a place that was like gin clear. Like it would make most lakes in New Hampshire ashamed of themselves for how dirty they are.
Yeah, when I was on
gin clear, and I was
Okeechobee, it was
how?
like clear.
It's
Like super clear.
weird.
Yeah.
Not what you would envision with all the swampiness down there.
Well, it's the lakes that have the most grass have the cleanest water.
True.
But Florida's been doing a thing. So I've read that they're killing all the weeds.
They're
Nuking
spraying.
it. They're nuking
So
it left, right, and center.
when I was down there, the day or two before, it was like nice lush green grass. Then they sprayed it, and then when I was out there, it was like everything was like looked burnt and dead,
Yeah.
and it kind of just killed the bite and everything.
Yeah. So there's some lakes with grass, some lakes with no grass, but it was big. I would love to be able to spend like 8 days on it, but didn't have the chance.
Maximize your time best you can.
Yeah, three days on Harris, 3 days on St. John's, right back up to Kentucky, and then day after that, over to Oklahoma, getting ready for the Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah!
When is the
Mhm.
Classic again? I feel like I'm going to miss it.
I don't know what day it is, so
Now
I think it's in like 14. I think it's in 2 weeks or something like that. 3 weeks, like 15 days.
2024 Classic.
There it is. Yep, sorry. I'm having a hard time.
March
Oh, okay.
22nd to 24th.
Never mind. I'll be back. I'll be back from work. I got to go overseas.
I'll be watching it.
Yeah, I'll be hopefully not watching it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Plus side, though, you're cashing a check regardless, just being there.
Hey, last place is 10 grand. I'll take it.
Yep.
Right?
So there's another question I want to ask you, and I'm not going to forget it because I've been thinking about it for a little while now. But there's a couple of questions in the chat. One was from Andrew. What was it like roaming with the guys you watched as a kid growing up?
Well, I assume we're talking about Mark Menendez.
Yeah.
He it was a little shock and awe for probably the first half hour we were talking, and then you realize that he's just a guy that loves to catch fish, loves to eat good food, and have a couple beers at the end of the night. It's just I feel like we gelled very quickly, and it's just I don't know, it's cool. It's cool idling out, and you're like, oh, like there's Brandon Polnick, like Lee Livesey, like all these guys, and like you can say the whole roster because everyone knows the entire roster, so pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
And it's just really cool, and everyone's been very nice to me. So
I'm glad you said that because that was gonna be my next question. Out of everybody you met, I want to make sure I phrase this right. Who has, I guess, been the most outgoing and helpful Because I'm sure that like there's tons of really nice guys, and you run into nice guys everywhere you go. But like, has there been one particular person that stuck out that like knowing you're new to this level of the scene that has like gone out of their way to be like, hey man, like what can I do to help, or just being overly friendly, you know, like anything along that.
Well,
That's best I can explain it.
I mean, Mark obviously has shown me some things about like, hey, you gotta do it this way, you gotta do that this way. But he's been pro fishing for like 33 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm very happy I got the opportunity to room with him in the first two, and we're going to continue going further. The trio of us.
Yep.
You know, I was pumping gas after day one at Toledo, and Jeff Gustafson walks up to me and goes, "Hey man, I only caught one my first day on the Elites."
That's sick.
So, no, but just like everyone's just been super cool, very talkative. It's been a lot of fun.
That's
good.
Awesome, man. I'm happy for that. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
You're living the dream.
We all are. We're all super stoked for you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Fork a little bit before it gets any later here. Obviously it didn't go the way you can't say it was a choke job. Come on, you didn't do that terrible. You did better day one there than you did day one at Toledo.
I
You
know.
just didn't really follow up with it on day two. You still had a good bag on day one, so it was like, I guess
Yeah.
one of the things we always talk about, especially me, there's always a lesson to be learned in everything. What was your biggest takeaway from that?
Well, so I had a goal going in to this Texas Louisiana Toledo Fork. I wanted to cash one check.
Yep.
That was my goal. And
succeeded.
in 70th, I actually cashed a $2,500 check.
Did you really?
Yep. So I got two checks, even though one's a baby one. And
What was the baby one for?
So 75th through 50th is $2,500.
Oh, no kidding.
Nice. So you got to cut twice.
Not really. So Fork, I would say I spent way too much time where I started. And if anyone watched Bass Live, I started about 100 yards away from Lee Livesey.
Oh. I didn't get to watch anything of day one and barely anything of day two.
So I had it was everything on Fork. I felt like when I was fishing, it was sun up to sundown. That's what you do 3 days in a row before the tournament starts. And I was getting 4 to 7 bites a day from sun up to sundown.
Whoa.
Yikes.
But granted, the 5 would have been, 28 pounds, 26 pounds, 23 pounds. Like every single time the average fish size that you're catching is giant.
Yep.
But I just wasn't getting many bites. And I had one spot, and there were, I don't know, 30 fish on this thing. It was an old dam on the lake before they flooded it. And I made one cast with a Carolina rig and caught a 7-pounder.
Okay.
And all of them came and chased it. So I was like, those are all bass. So I'm like, well, I know where I'm starting. And it's about an 8-minute it's not a no wake. It's an 8-minute idle in through a forest. And if anyone's fished Lake Fork, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you're just idling and then you're like, bump, tree, bump, tree. And you keep the motor out of the water, but yeah, I wouldn't want to look at the underside of any of our hulls after the first 2 events.
That was a wrap.
It's still on there.
Good. That's good. That's good.
Most of it is still on there. There is one spot. So I idle all the way back there, and there's a boat sitting right in the middle. And like you could fish to the left of it and you can fish to the right of it. Now I figured there would be someone else on it because I was like, no way, these guys didn't find this school. Like, it's a big school of fish, and they're all giants. And as I'm idling back there, I get closer and I can see the wrap, and I look at my marshal and I go, I wish it was anyone but him. Not because I have anything against him, but because it was Lee Livesey on his home lake.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be tricky. So never had to deal with this on the Elite Series. So I dropped the trolling motor. I don't even pick up a rod. I kind of scoot on over and I go, hey Lee, do you mind if I fish the right-hand side? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Awesome.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah. He didn't catch anything. I didn't catch anything. It completely changed. He said too many fish got caught and it broke up the school in practice. That's what his professional opinion was, which is on that lake is probably highly regarded.
Yep.
But I kept seeing fish there and it kept sucking me in because you keep seeing them, and that's the curse of the live scope. Now
Jason.
I have a personal vengeance on this blob right here, and I'm going to make you eat. And I burnt 2 hours over there, 2.5 hours before I left without a bite, just because I knew if I got a bite, it was going to be a big one. So then I go in a little bit of a scramble mode, and I ended up having a little late day rally, just fishing new water.
Yep.
Because the places I was going, it was like I dropped the trolling, and this is all you're doing with the live scope, looking for him in the timber, and I just didn't see anything. So I was like, well, let's try over here. And I talked to one other Elite Series guy as I was going down this pocket. He's like, oh, how you doing today? I'm like, I got 4. I was like, how you doing? He's like, I got 29 pounds. I'm like, oh.
Damn it. That's like freaking Jody.
Yeah. Literally that. Fucking last tournament, we're like, this is great. We're doing good. We got 20 pounds. We see Jody. Jody, how you doing? He's like, I got about 29. We're like, fuck.
Yeah. So as I say that, I'm passing this big boat dock, and for whatever reason, I could not get them to eat a jig under a boat dock. They would only eat a Nico. So I sit there and I skip that Nico up under there, like an 1/8 ounce nail weight, 16th ounce nail weight in one end. And I'm talking to this guy over here, and I'm holding my rod, talking to him, and it goes boom. Set the hook, and now I'm 10 minutes away, and I had 7 minutes left to fish.
Yep.
And I set the hook, and it doesn't move. And it goes under one side, and I was way under this boathouse. Goes around one piling. And I'm like, oh, please just stay on there. Please just stay on there. Comes out, goes around the other piling on the other side. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my heart can't take this. And I just held it, and finally she comes out, and it was like a 5.5 pounder.
Nice.
Catch it, weigh it, throw it back, pick up the trolling motor, idle out of the cove, run back with 1 minute to spare.
Damn.
Dude. Jeez.
Making the most of every minute.
Yep. And then day 2, I went to that same cove where I caught like 3 fish right at the end of the day. And I get in there, and Patrick Walters is in there, who he caught 30 pounds that day. Hunter Schreirock's in there, who caught like 27 pounds. And I'm throwing that fish, and I got there a little late. I'm throwing that fish, and they're like diving to the bottom as soon as the jerkbait gets near them.
Oh.
And I'm like, huh. These fish got messed with before I got here.
Yep.
So I left there and ran a couple other places, and it was like one here, one there, one here, one there. I go back to that same dock that I caught the 5.5 off. And I skip back up under there. Thunk. Set the hook. It was not in a cocky sense, but I've caught a lot of 7-pounders the last month. Like more than my entire life previously. It was way bigger than a 7. Comes out on the right-hand side of the dock and does a full circle around one piling, and the line goes,
Oh. That's no bueno.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. And then I had a smidge of a weak moment when that happened. And I look up and there's a there's a guy sitting on his dock. And I go, pardon my French. he goes, I would have said way worse than that. I was like, yeah, that was a big one.
Damn.
Son, if that were me, that fishing rod would have been a pile of toothpicks by now.
Yeah. Seriously.
And then, so that I got 5 bites, and then I had one on a Demiki, or I had one chase a jerkbait for like 50 feet and never commit. And I took a Demiki rig and I hung it right in his face, and it went thunk. And I set the hook. It was full drag pull all the way up, and then just shook right off.
Oh.
So, if I didn't see that one. I saw the first one. If I caught either one, I would been flirting with that Bubble Boy top 50 cut again, which felt good and bad at the same time because I finished 70th. But it felt good that I made some of the right decisions to put myself in contention to fish another Saturday.
Yep.
But that's what happened on Fork. It was just a grinder.
Yeah, but dude, that's so key that you recognize that even if the end result on the leaderboard wasn't what you want, that you recognize, like, shit, it was there. It's not like I completely fucked up the whole weekend and, like, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't make the right decisions. I couldn't locate him, nothing. Like, not everything lined up for you. There's a significant difference between those two different circumstances.
Yeah. But, no, it's, you definitely have to keep your head in the game because it can get pretty, you can get pretty low out there if you let it get you down, because you're like, it's Lake Fork, guys are catching them, and you're not catching anything.
Yep.
But you just have to make the most of the opportunities, and like I said, I had 6 bites that day. That's all I could have asked for. That was more than I had the first day, and they just didn't come in.
Yep.
Wasn't meant to be. So
Nope.
Hey, you got plenty more ahead of you, so
I'll take
more this year?
the baby check, and like I said, we're in the words of Bill Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati, except now we're on to
Oklahoma.
Florida.
Oh,
Oklahoma.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're in Florida, but tournament-wise.
Oklahoma. Classic.
well, next year if you need a place to hang out, you know where
Got you
I'll
covered in
be.
Florida.
What part of Florida?
It's just north of Orlando,
Gotcha.
like literally 10 minutes to downtown Orlando.
So like 30 minutes from Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, not far.
Yeah.
An hour and 30, hour and 40 to Okeechobee.
Yeah.
You just
And
go
you'll
fun
probably
fishing
be
for the day.
closer to Apaka, because Apaka is like way south on Harris.
Is it?
Oh. Yeah, he's right. I'd forgotten
So
about
that's
that.
probably
lake.
just north of where I am then.
Yeah, that's going to be really close to you.
Cool.
I can't tell you anything because I didn't go there because the 3-boat lock and the 2 hours of travel time to get there is
Oh.
smidge risky.
Yeah, forget that.
Well, who are you staying with tonight?
I'm with Kyle Norsether, who he's on his second year
Nice.
on the
Nice.
Elite Series. He's coming off back-to-back top 50s.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, Andrew, to answer your question, what event are you looking forward to fishing the most? I mean, if I say St. Lawrence or Champlain, I feel like that's a given. So I'll go a little different. And, well, I would say Bassmaster Classic is an obvious one. But in the Elite Series, I would say Lake Murray.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Herring, cleaner water, pressured largemouth that don't like to bite. Sounds just like New Hampshire.
Yep. It's going to be good.
We just had on Jake Cockules last week. He just won the Bass Kayak event up there on Lake Murray last weekend.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting.
Yep.
I should sign up to be a marshal for the Champlain event.
Do it.
How fucking cool would that be if I got to be with Tim? Like, Tim, we never got to fish together before this, but I paid $100 to be here with you today.
You'd want to get somebody else. You wouldn't want me.
No way. That'd be so much fun.
We're going to launch, and so where are we going? Thai.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to go with you.
I might actually know a spot or two up there, though. He'd be like, going up, be like, all right, so we're going to go over here. I'll just kick back. Like, Tim, I fucking know about this spot. Just this one, though. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. But you definitely have to hold on in that nitro.
Yeah, jeez.
That's all right. We're used to it.
Yep, I'm used to it. Holding on.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if we ever told you the story. Was it the first year we went to the St. Lawrence?
Yes, it was.
We were all the way down at the bottom of Stone Island.
Yeah.
And it was late in the week, and we were getting our teeth kicked in. It wasn't too choppy, but we hadn't been down there yet. It was the first time we were down there. It was it's Stone, and I think there's a little one, there's Gull Island or something like that.
There's Calf, Gull,
So it was
Stony.
Gull.
That shitty little bird island that I almost went and took a shit on.
Yeah, that.
Calf.
So we were
Calf.
we were at that. Nothing was happening, and we were like, all right, let's run back. I forget where the hell we were gonna go. We were making a long run.
Don't tell me where you're going, because I
No,
can't.
we won't.
So, no. Everything was fine except for I almost dumped him in the lake. So he was looking down and doing something, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I just get on it, and the boat comes up, and it comes down, and I'm staring right at the shoal at the ass end of Gull. And I didn't have time to do anything other than react. And I just grabbed the wheel and started ripping as hard as I could. Next thing I knew, I hear Andrew going, whoa! Because we are like fucking sideways.
My head was almost in the water.
Come around the bank, get away from the shoal, brought it back flat. I'm like, sorry.
It was good. It was funny.
Yeah.
But
That's probably the funnest part about every time we've been up there.
scare the shit out of me every time.
It's a scary place.
Yeah, dude.
Especially when you run out of gas.
We haven't done that.
Yeah, we did.
What? When?
We definitely did. In like 5 footers.
Well, okay, no. Technically, we didn't run out of gas.
Yeah.
I have the 2 tanks, and one ran out, so
We
we had
ran
to
out of
flip the
gas.
switch to go to the other tank.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was in 5 footers.
That's fine.
I had to think about that for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
A big island right there.
Oh yeah,
A
that
lot
was
of wind
fun.
coming around it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good, Andrew. But did you die?
I was close.
No.
No, I did not.
No, the closest we got was when we speared that wave on Newfound.
Yeah.
That was, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, that day.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Anyway, back to Doobie.
So one of the only questions I wanted to ask was, you've got time to kill in between some of these tournaments. So what are you going to be doing in the meantime, aside from just traveling and trying to fish as many of these spots as you can?
Just
you got anything else lined up?
Pre-practicing.
Nice.
So it's time to kill, and it's like, 15-hour drive to Florida, fish 6 days in Florida, 15-hour drive back to 16-hour drive back to Oklahoma. Like, it's just
There is no time to kill.
I'm either in the boat at the steering wheel looking at live scope off the back, pretty awesome. Looking at live scope off the back or the side imaging, or I'm sitting in my truck holding the steering wheel looking out the windshield.
Yep.
But it's kind of a grind. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired. But it's stuff
You look
gotta do.
fantastic.
What?
You look fantastic.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And I know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, not a lot of downtime, and it's just a lot of traveling, a lot of fishing,
A lot of seat time.
Well, that's what you
On
wanted
and
to
off
do.
the water.
a lot of stuff.
That's what you wanted, and that's what you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all proud of you.
That
Well,
way,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, 39:30. And greatly appreciate you coming on, but you've been in the seat all day, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. So take a minute, tell everybody where they can follow you on all your social media, or plug anything else you want to plug. The floor is yours for however long you want it, man.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I mean, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is Tim Dube Fishing. Instagram is not, it's Doobie time anymore. I had to change that up. It's it's just Tim Dube Fishing as well. I'll be on both of those, posting hopefully more regularly. I need to get a lot better at that. But yeah, you can just follow me along on the journey. I like posting a bunch of stories of me catching some bass and other species as well.
Yep.
And just the journey from now Florida to the Classic.
Yes, sir. Well,
Yeah.
again, if you want to keep this going, as your schedule allows, we'd love to keep having you back on after every event. You know, especially like in this case where you had 2 back-to-back. We can touch base after the 2.
Yeah,
And,
I would love to do that and do a post-tournament recap, and we can go over what I did right, what I did wrong, and hopefully it's a lot more of what I did right.
Damn right, it's gonna be. You got your head on right. You'll be good.
So.
Plus, you're fucking good at fishing.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on. Look forward to the next one. And next recap will be the Bassmaster Classic recap.
That's going to be a good one.
I'm excited for you. I'm tempted to take the day off just so I can not guiltily just watch TV all day.
I
What'd you
do.
take the day off for? Like,
I
I'm
will.
gonna watch TV. I'm gonna watch fishing all day.
He knows what TV we have at
fuck
work.
you.
But I really appreciate you guys supporting me, and then everyone watching. The support from back home has just been absolutely unreal, and looking forward to carrying some more momentum into the next couple tournaments and seeing where we end up.
Hell yeah, man. Well, again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it and appreciate you. Best of luck as always, and we'll be watching the Classic. But Andrew, now it's your turn. Pretend shuffle paper. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
All right. See you, Tim. Bye.
See you guys.
We will see you guys next week, as always, at youtube.com/Reel Nothern Bass at 8 p.m. every Wednesday. We will see you guys later.
Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.